So we go on Facebook and we hit up the local girl that we know has some buds. And we try and procure some buds through Facebook. And I remember we hit her up, and one of the keywords we knew was headies. So we typed. What's going on, guys? My name's Cliff, and this is Higher Education's podcast. This is a bonus episode, and more importantly, this is my scraps episode. So basically, I feel like anyone who is any type of creator knows that when you make something and you make a lot of something, sometimes you have things in there that you're like, I don't have time for this, or it just doesn't fit in there, or maybe it doesn't go with the flow of things. So you kind of just nix it and you skip it. Well, this bonus episode is full of things that I nixed or skipped that I kind of want to go back and go over. And I also want to test out this new mic I got because this mic is fresh. I don't know. It could be better, but I like the money I spent on it. And my previous mic, this guy, hey, I'll let you see it. He was nice. So as you do, you get the progression of mics, and we'll move on from this. But what I don't want to move on from is the topics that I discarded because I don't know. I feel like I want to talk about it, and I also like to hear myself talk. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about some topics that I glossed over. So the first topic I want to talk about has to do with ASAP Rocky. My nigga ASAP Rocky is free, conditionally. So we know ASAP Rocky got in a mess over in Sweden. He got into a fight in the street. His story was that, these girls said that he was harassing him, so we jumped him. And he was like, I was maybe being a little annoying, and then they jumped me and hit me over the head with a bottle. And he had bruises, and that's when the story flipped for me. And I was kind of went from being like, oh, that's just niggas handling business, to being like, oh, that nigga kind of got fucked up. Like, I don't want to laugh about it, but that's the reality of what happened, is that they jumped him. And he was not committed, as I'm stupid. He was convicted. He was found guilty, but he is on conditional release. So as long as he doesn't commit any more crimes in Sweden, ASAP is free. He's free to visit Sweden, and he's free for all intents and purposes, but it's still on a record. And his lawyer said that this is a disappointing outcome, and he's yet to know if ASAP's even gonna appeal. So there's that, which is, it's something, but it's also like you were over in Sweden and you got into a fist fight. Like, I don't mean to be like you should have been on a higher pedestal, but if you gonna represent us in a different country, maybe don't jump a nigga with 4 or 5 or 6 people. Like, at least get the ones. You gonna hit him with the 5 people? It just blows my mind. But he home. We gonna get some fire music. We probably already got some fire music I haven't even heard. So let's move on to the next topic that I glossed over. I want to talk about this wave pool in China. Did you guys see this wave pool in China? All right. So for those of you who didn't see it, or those of you who are listening to this that can't see it, you know what a wave pool is, right? You go to the amusement park and the water park, and you get into the wave pool, and it's a pool that pushes waves back and forth. It's in the name. So sometimes you, as a kid, you want to be like, go bigger, go faster, go bigger, go faster. Well, this one wave pool attendant heard go bigger, go faster one too many times. I show you bigger and faster, nigga. I cranked that shit up to 11. Who put the dial to 11 on that shit? That is insane. There's no need. There's no need for such an extreme reaction for a wave pool. It's an attraction for family and kids. Yo, I'm so glad no one died, because that shit looked kind of fun. I feel like if it's just by yourself, you could rock it. But if you in the water and there's a whole bunch of different bodies around you and you bumping back and forth into different people, it's just not going to be a fun time. I don't even like crowded beaches. Talk about a crowded pool. That shit, Shit. Oh, someone call OSHA. OSHA is for workplace. All right, so the next topic that I glossed over, I really felt like didn't have a place in the podcast that I was giving at that point, but I still want to talk about it. So this, I'll let the video explain itself because I really can't talk about it without showing the video.
They told you to come get your clothes at 11 by 11. I told them no, because if I fuck her up or one of my friends fuck her up, it's going to be different because we all had a bond with you before.
Oh,
so
bitch, you fucked up with me when you tried to convince niggas
they
I
was
was
ready
a
to
dirty
do
bitch.
anything to you. Now you got him all fucked up saying, I don't want to get her in trouble. I don't want to do this. But then you send them a text message saying you need to borrow his dick, Ayana. You told the baby you need to borrow his... Now you should chill the fuck out. You can't keep fucking around.
Why you ain't stop it? Even if he came on to you, why you ain't stop it?
Why you ain't say, hold up, this ain't right? It's nothing in my 21-year-old head that I'm a fucking 13. I'm not even gonna fuck a 16-year-old.
I can't even sit here, Malia, y'all thinking this shit. Even if he came on to you, think you think he went that far?
Experience, and that's nasty.
So you don't know what you was thinking, Ayana, but you fucked him.
You knew
that was my little cousin, right? Tell the truth. No, you knew that was my little cousin. No, because I'm mad as shit. Y'all don't get this. This supposed to be my fucking friend, and you fuck on my family member who's
Bitch,
a
I've been to
baby.
you was a snake.
I looked out for you. You looked out for me, and this how you repay me? You fucked my little cousin. You knew that was my little cousin, Ayana. You knew that shit. You know that's my family. She let you stay there. She asked me, should I let her stay there? I said, I don't know, but if you want to help her, help her. Did you fuck my cousin? Did you fuck my little cousin?
That's mine.
Did
Here
you
you go.
fuck my little cousin? Now, you might think this is grimy. You fucked a little boy, Ayana. I want to punch you so bad. You fucked a little boy. You fucked my baby cousin head up. Why did you fuck him?
I caught the phone.
Why? He got tested. You gave him something. So what? Why did you fuck him? Why did you fuck him raw? Why did you fuck him without a condom? If you know you fucking a little kid, why did you fuck him without a condom, yo?
What if you would have got
You
pregnant?
fuck niggas.
What if
You
you would've got
fuck grown
pregnant?
niggas who could have gave you anything. You don't know what you carry. None of us do. That's why you stay with one person. You fuck a baby, Ayana.
Know when you got herpes.
I don't have herpes.
What you got, HPV?
I don't have nothing.
Yes, you do,
I don't
Ayana.
have nothing.
General
Yes, you
works
do.
for the form of HPV.
No, you do.
I promise I don't have
Ayana, I wasn't with you.
I know, but they made a mistake.
So this girl let her friend stay at her house. And her friend had sex with her and her friend raped her 12-year-old cousin. Not only that, but gave him an STD. Gave him something he's got to go with the rest of it. Gave him two things he's got to go through the rest of his life with, explaining it to future partners, to it's such a shameful situation. And I'm not saying violence is always the answer, but sometimes it is. Now, maybe she should have gone to the police station. I'll agree with you there. She should have gone to the authorities. I don't be trusting the cops like that. You know, off the grip, I'll be like, let's find another way. But that is the right course of action. I'll agree with there that she should have gone to the police. But also, I want to talk about the stigma that surrounds this, because it's like that episode of South Park where Ike was with his teacher and all the cops are like, nice. And it's this whole thing where it's seen as like, oh, like he gained some sort of status. Like this nigga achieved something. Like, he had the Mac on this older woman. That's not what happened. All right. This older woman used her position of power against this child. And that's what happened here. She said, oh, he came on to me. And the girl retorts it perfectly. And I applaud her for being so composed, because I honestly don't know if I could hold that same fortitude. Her friend was going off, got some hella licks in, but my girl was holding it in for a little bit. But it just sucks that one, she has to deal with that two, her cousin has to deal with that. And I don't know, it it's a messy situation all around, but it also sucks about the stigma, or people even on Twitter were like, oh yeah, he the man. And it's like, he's not the man. And he might need a hug. He needs therapy. He needs a lifetime of assistance. And you really took away his childhood. You really in one action took him from being a child to a man with problems. And that's not right. And that's what I had to say on that. And I don't know if you could guess why I didn't want that on the podcast, but it is a downer. But there's also something I wanted to talk about. So even though it's sad, you gotta talk about the sad shit. You gotta examine the sad shit. And I don't know, man. That's why I wasn't on the podcast. So the next topic that I kind of breezed over, that I was like, I don't even want to talk about this nigga, but I gotta talk about this nigga because this clip is so fucking funny. Conor McGregor was giving out shots in a bar. He said, I'm in this bar. The bar got like 10 people in it. Said, I'm in this bar. I got my liquor in it. I'm giving out shots on me, everybody. And then he tries to give it to this one old dude. And old dude like, nah, I don't want it. And he's like, what? Nigga, take my drink. And old dude was like, I told you I don't want it. And Conor put the drink in his face or whatever. And then he downs his drink. It sucks, dude. And he just socks dude and hits him in the face. And I was like, you are such an asshole. You're such an immature ass. You could have just been a really good MMA fighter, and instead you chose to just be a dick. So that's Conor McGregor's legacy. But this old dude's legacy is the fact that he's a fucking champ. He ain't even flinch. I mean, he might have flinched a little bit, but he just chilling. What if he was like, I don't want that because I don't drink whiskey. My drink is vodka. Whiskey makes me throw up. Whiskey makes me have hangovers. Get that whiskey out of my face. But Conor gotta be a dick. Conor going Conor. I'll watch him fight and I'll watch him get fucked up. But like, I don't want to root for the nigga. Certainly not. He gives you no reason to root for him. All right, on to the next topic. I saw this question on Facebook, and I don't know if I wanted to talk about it. We got some time. What time check? Yeah, it's a mini episode. So the question is, who did you smoke with, and who did you smoke your first blunt with? So, answering the first part, who did I first smoke with? I remember back in high school, maybe freshman year, I had two friends. And they hit me up and they're like, yo, we got some weed. Do you want to smoke with us? And I was like, weed? So I went on the internet and I Googled, what does weed do? And I had read that it affects your vision and it makes music sound really trippy and feels vibrations through you. And that freaked me the fuck out. So I was like, nah, I'll just stay home. So that was freshman year. I think the next year, me and a couple buddies ended up going to my one buddy's house, and it was like the day before 420, and we had decided that we were going to get some weed and we were going to smoke it because that's what kids do. So we go on Facebook and we hit up the local girl that we know has some buds. And we try and procure some buds through Facebook, and I remember we hit her up and one of the keywords we knew was headies. So we typed them Johns headies. And she gave us a reply like, yeah, nigga, like, of course, like, what do you mean, like, fuck with me, like. So we met up with her and we bought the bud off her, and then we went down to the local town forest in the local town we hung out in, and we went in the what's it called, the trestle. We went down to the trestle under the train tracks. I probably gave it away where it is, but we went down to the trestle under the train tracks, and it was like squad deep mad of us, and we got high for the first time, and it was really cool because that really signified what smoking weed was for me in high school. It was just me and mad group of my friends, like 8 deep, just getting high and smoking and doing mad hooligan shit that we probably shouldn't have been doing. But yeah, that was what it was. It was also a lot of love and a lot of friendship, but also a lot of high school drama and a lot of bullshit. But that's how it goes. Also, some niggas got arrested, but we won't talk about that. And then who did you smoke your first blunt with? Well, I don't know if I can say exactly his name, but he's been on the podcast before. Basically, me and him went back where I used to live is in Woodland, and there used to be a Wawa, and then behind the Wawa was like a big shopping center and a baseball field. It was like Widener's property kind of, and behind that baseball field was like an abandoned hockey rink. And I remember me and this kid went to this abandoned hockey rink, and we had like a zigzag wrap paper, and we really tried to roll a blunt with no knowledge. We were just like, let's just rub our fingers together and see what happens. Like, no, really, we were like, we can roll joints. All right, we've been rolling joints for a brick. I think this had been senior year. We've been rolling joints for like 2 years now. We think we the shit. Let's move on to blunts. And we tried to roll our fingers together, and we had the ugliest twig looking. That shit looked bent and snapped and had holes in it. And we smoked it, and it left brown stains all over our lips. And we kind of just put it out, and we were like, you want to go back to joints? And then we just smoked joints. And then I went to college, and my roommate was like, nigga, blunts. And I was like, tell me more. How much bud can I fit in it? I'm sorry for that. So yeah, that's who I first smoked with, and that's the first blunt I ever smoked with. I know it wasn't very personal because you don't know who it was, but those stories, it doesn't matter if I told you the people in those stories. They wouldn't have meant more for you, would it have? Would it have? All right, so next on the list that I kind of breezed by, an Arizona postal worker took a picture of a steak cooking in his van. All right, he cooked a steak to like medium rare in his van. It was eatable, and get this nigga some AC. I understand that postal vans are so old and disheveled and no one takes care of them in the States. Like, we got money to throw other places, like my pockets, nigga. Like, so we not giving you no cars with AC. We not giving you no new postal vans. But check this out. It get really hot in places in the United States. That's a fact for you. It gets fucking hot. My niggas need AC. At least give them a little portable fan. That's some bullshit. Y'all niggas. He cooked a fucking steak in his car. And I know we see things where like the football player baked cookies in his car, and it's like, oh, that he bakes cookies. Cars get hot. I bet his car got AC. He don't work for the government. There's no one to be like, you drive around for me in the heat. He did that for himself. So give these niggas AC. Argue with me. There's no point to argue against. Give these niggas AC. That's the end of the story. And that's why I didn't bring it up on the podcast, because there's really no back and forth with it. You just like, yeah, get the niggas. Who is against? Let them have AC. No, that's money. What? Oh. You're not getting your mail. All right, y'all gotta see this roasting session on Twitter. It just keeps escalating and escalating and escalating. And I ain't got much to say about it. That's why I didn't bring it up. And it's a little raunchy and racist. That's why I didn't bring it up. But you know what? You know what we minorities do so well when we roast each other? Did you see one derogatory word used in there? Did you see one N-word? One S-word or whatever derogatory word you can come up with? No, it was just, it was stereotypes. And it was awful. It was really fucking awful. But it was funny, and it wasn't that bad. But it was bad. But, like, no one got called the N-word. Take note. All right, guys. So this has been a nice little mini podcast. There really is, like I said, no point to it, but getting the shit out the way that I didn't talk about and testing out the mic. Honestly, that is the main point of this podcast. But, thanks for watching. I really appreciate that. So before I go, I want to do a one's gotta go, where you take one topic, one subject, and all of it is gone forever. So one's gotta go. Proud Family, That's So Raven, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and Phineas and Ferb. Now, I thought this was going to be easy for me because I was like, at first, Phineas and Ferb, automatically off the bat, that's first one out, right? But I now have the theme song of Phineas and Ferb stuck in my head. It's 104 days of summer vacation, and school comes along just to end it. So the annual problem for our generation is finding a good way to spend it. Like maybe building a rocket or fighting a mummy or climbing up the Eiffel Tower, bam, bam, discovering something that doesn't exist, or giving a monkey a shower, bam, bam, bam.
3 hours later.
So stick with us, cause Phineas and Ferb are gonna do it all. So stick with us, cause Phineas and Ferb are gonna do it all. Mom, Phineas and Ferb are making a title sequence. Snitch ass bitch. But if I look at that list of shows and I see the Proud Family, which is such an integral part to my childhood, being cartoon, but also being such a diverse cartoon, and then looking at That's So Raven and also saying similar things, but seeing black faces live action. So all that what I said, but live action. And then Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. That was the shit. Those two niggas were the shit so much that they put them on a boat with some other niggas and said, that's a hit show too. So, Phineas and Ferb, if all you got is a theme song, you gotta go. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching this little bonus episode. I hope the mic sounds good. I really didn't do this for the mic. I did do this for the mic. But honestly, I need to work on saying words. I stumble over words so much that I just need the word more. That's it. Also, subscribe to other higher education content. We got Unpack That Bull. Obviously, we have a higher education podcast. Yo, nigga might be writing the movie too. Bye.